welcome back into Titans Today. I am Tom Downey. We have another trade made by Tennessee following the DeAndre Hopkins deal earlier this morning. Tennessee is now trading Ernest Jones IV, the linebacker they acquired earlier this offseason, to Seattle for another linebacker in Jerome Baker, and I would argue most importantly, a fourth-round pick, which, as we'll get into, Carthon ran circles around Seattle and LA with these two particular trades. We'll break that down in a second. But when the Titans make a big-time move, like a trade, we have a video for you. Didn't think we'd have two today. Had two today. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out in the future. Here are the trade details on the Ernest Jones trade. Seattle's getting Jones to help out a linebacking core because they are a contender. The Titans are selling higher than they bought on Jones, getting Jerome Baker to sub in, help out for the time being, and acquiring a fourth-round pick as well. It's very clear the Titans are sellers. This is how you sell properly. Now, Jerome Baker's owed a couple of $1 million over the course of the season. Most of his stuff was signing bonus, so it's not owed the 1 year $7 million you might see out there. It's more like 1 year 3-ish, not even the full 3, kind of more like 2 from that perspective. So Jerome Baker wasn't that great in Seattle, missed some time, was super inconsistent. I saw better stuff on film in Miami in 2023, in 2022. He can definitely start for this team. He can be the we're not giving up on the defense yet because the defense has played pretty well. You get a half-season long look at him. You can re-sign him, or hey, maybe he plays well and you get a comp pick as well. Ernest Jones was, I think, clearly better. I don't think he was as good as he was in 2023 with the Rams. That's okay. He's been a good linebacker, the team's, I think, best linebacker so far this campaign. To get the fourth-round pick, though, I think matters a lot here. You are rebuilding. You are going to have assets you're going to want to acquire. Getting a fourth-round pick back for Ernest Jones, as we'll break down in a minute, I think is very, very key. Plus, this also potentially frees up more playing time for Cedric Gray, who's coming back from IR in theory in the near future. So a lot more on this to come, but grade the trade. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. How do you feel about the second Ernest Jones trade made by Tennessee? I'm going to give this an A. And I gave the first trade an A. And overall, it's an A+++++. The last two moves made by Carthon as relates to Jones have been a textbook example of great trade work. Even if the results on the field haven't been great yet, these two particular moves, well done. Initially, the Titans got a really good starting linebacker for a 5th and 6th round pick swap in 2026. That might be all a 30-pick difference in mid to late day 3. They basically got him for free. And then, 2.5 months later, the Seahawks have come charging in, maybe the Rams are going to trade him to Seattle, whatever. They gave him a 4th-round pick and Jerome Baker to get Ernest Jones. From a day 3 pick swap at the end of the preseason to, hey, we got more back in exchange. So to combine these two trades, to sum it up nice and evenly and clean, the Titans have sent out a 2026 5th-round pick in exchange for a 4th-round pick this year, a 6th-round pick next year, and linebacker Jerome Baker. Guys, that is awesome trade work. You have flipped a half season of Ernest Jones paying him next to nothing, paying Jerome Baker borderline vet minimum, plus some roster bonus stuff, to get a 4th and a 6th in exchange for a 5th. I don't think you could pull that off in Madden. That is some fantastic work by Carthon. Now, the season this year sucks, I know. That's a great trade. Just in this little bubble. That is fantastic work. So give me your one-word reaction to the Titans trade of Ernest Jones to get the 4th-round pick and Jerome Baker. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. I think Steele stands out here. You stole him from the Rams, and you stole a 4th-round pick from the Seattle Seahawks. Rand Carthon, who look, he knows him well from his time in San Francisco. He did some fantastic work here. Now, I am curious as we move forward this season what the Titans' plans at inside linebacker are going to be. They have Jerome Baker. They have Kenneth Murray. I would like to get a glimpse at some point this year, even if it is kind of a ramp-up period, of Ernest Jones or of Cedric Ray. The linebacking rotation there's been a handful of Jack Gibbons snaps, and we haven't really had a chance to see James Williams, Otis Reese, Luke Gifford, or special teamers. I want to see Cedric Ray at some point in this campaign. I want to see him out there. I want to see how he's able to contribute. Jerome Baker is what he is. He's a veteran. He is a fine piece. Kenneth Murray is fast and athletic. Both guys are kind of fast and athletic. This is about the future now. You made that trade because it's about the future. It's not about winning games right now. It's about building out your long-term roster. I want to see how good Cedric Ray can be, assuming it's activated from IR in the not-too-distant future. Some more thoughts on this to come, but if you haven't already and you want to get an offensive lineman jersey, J.C. Latham is the one to go get, the Titans' first-round pick. The link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. That's chatsports.com/Latham. Chatsports.com. Not just the jersey you see on screen. There's plenty of other styles and available options, etc., that are available for you over at Fanatics. So go get yours today. Some final wrap-up thoughts here on Jerome Baker. He was a third-round pick out of Ohio State. His last 2 years in Miami were his 2 best years. He was a little inconsistent. He can do some blitzing stuff. He didn't really get to do a ton of that necessarily this past year in Seattle. I have at times liked him better in coverage than run defense, so I think that could be a decent fit alongside Kenneth Murray. I almost wonder, I'm thinking out loud here, I kind of wonder if Jerome Baker was the throw-in piece. Like, we need to make a roster spot. Can you take on his money? I kind of think that's what that was. I think the Ernest Jones trade was about that 4th rounder. And that is a good asset. That's pick 113, whatever it ends up being in that ballpark, like 120. That's fine. I flipped a future 5th into a 4th this year, whatever with Jerome Baker, and a 6th-round pick. That is fleecing. So Rand Carthon, fantastic job. Now, go make some good picks and more good moves this upcoming offseason.